Welcome to Beyond the Bushel. This is John Latham, and really happy to have a couple of our sales reps up in the northern country, Michael and Aaron, with us today. And just want to talk a little bit about what you guys are seeing up north. Kind of a crazy year, like we say every year up north. But maybe if you want to tell us a little bit about some of the things you guys saw through the conditions this year in the northern country. Now, this would be central Minnesota into northern Minnesota and then up into North Dakota. So, Michael, would you want to start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. The southern end of my territory, so kind of right in the southeast corner of the state of North Dakota, do touch the northeast corner of South Dakota too, and then west central Minnesota. I would say right in that corridor, the south half of my territory, weather and growing conditions were pretty good. Overall, we had timely rains. Got a lot of guys had really good corn crops. Beans were left a little bit to be desired. I think we kind of dried up a little bit too early there. But you go north, um, Fargo and west, they had a lot of way too much moisture this year. We had some straight line winds come in 120, 110 mile an hour there. The third week in June it was that really kind of um, caused a lot of problems throughout the entire year. A lot of replanting on soybeans up north. I think we replanted a good 3,000 to 4,000 acres there after that storm, and just kind of that was a big hurdle that we never quite got over up there. We did still see some pretty good corn yields that came with that. That survived it a lot better than the beans did, but the beans struggled pretty much all year after that storm come through. So too much moisture in the north and pretty ideal growing conditions in the south half of my territory.
Yeah, too much moisture never really works well for soybeans. Corn can handle a little bit better than soybeans can, but
Right.
and then the derecho you guys had, we've had it here a few years ago in Iowa, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It's awful, and so had
Right.
so thinking
Yeah.
about you guys up north, I know there was a lot of damage done in your area.
Yeah, we probably got lucky that it did happen when it did. Had that been a
Hmm.
few weeks later, there would have been no replanting on the soybeans. I think it would have done a lot more damage to the corn. The corn kind of, it was the right time to have it happen. That's kind of the silver lining in a bad situation there, I could say.
Yeah, well, that's good. Something at least the timing was halfway decent. Never a good time,
Right.
but could have been a lot
Right.
worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what did you see, Aaron? So a lot of the same things that Michael did.
Yeah, no, definitely. Lots of pockets. There's pockets out there where it was plenty dry all throughout the year, and the soybeans. Kind of like Michael said. I mean, the corn. We really did have some good corn yields for up in the northern region here. As far as the soybeans go, there was places where it was too dry all year. There was places where we had the right amount of moisture right up until the end, and I think it really cut the top end of our yield off. When you get up way more towards the northern part of my territory, a lot of guys battling some white mold. Year over year, they do not see a whole lot of white mold, but this year, a lot of moisture in spots, and it really showed itself. So, the white mold, the diseases just by themselves, the rust coming in on the corn. Um, there was just some lot of different battles that we had to go against this year. But at the end of the day, I think the guys are really impressed with the corn, up and down the valley, in and out, east and west of the valley. So yeah, not a bad year at all. Could have been a lot better on the soybeans, but that's just the battle that we get up here in the Dakotas. So
Yeah, we've all been through it. There's been different years where in Iowa, just the soybeans didn't handle it or corn didn't, vice versa. So, and it
yep,
seemed like it was across the board. Every company's soybeans kind of struggled up the north overall in a lot of areas. So,
right, absolutely, yep.
yeah, well, thanks for that update. We just went through post-harvest meetings, going through a lot of data. We've been crunching data the last few weeks and just kind of got to relay that out to you guys. And you've been obviously looking at a lot of plots all through the year and a lot of things. What are some of the highlights you'd say, some different products that really stood out to you? Do you want to go first, Michael?
Yeah. I'll start early a little bit. 3937 and the Roundup version of 3932. It's been around for at least 4 or 5 years now, but it continues to produce through multiple different yield environments. We have that. I know Aaron's guys plant it, and my guys push that product south as well. So I really like that 89-day Double Pro. You're going to have a hard time replacing that one. It is getting a little old, but I mean, it's still tried and true. Moving on a little later, 4407 is a new Double Pro for us this year, and that shined at every single place that we had it. A lot of 220s, 230s, even a couple of 240s. You get down in the southern part of the valley. I just got a text from a grower this morning. It won his farm up in the Valley City area. That's 94 days pushing for them up there, but if we can push the bushels out with these 94, 95 days in that area, they can afford to run the dryer a little bit. So, and then going even a little later, 5226, 102-day power core really shined in my southern showcase plots, west central Minnesota. I Guys are easily doubling their acres with that one next year. Everyone that had it, going to give it another good look. It's got a lot of competition right in there in that 99 to 103 day, but that one really shined in the later maturities in my area. Did you want me to hop into the beans, or are we going to hit corn first and then back to beans, or?
Let's let's stay with corn and then we'll go back to beans maybe.
Okay.
What did you see, Aaron, on the corn side of things up in your area?
Yeah. My earliest product that I would say is one of my favorites is going to be that 3057. It's a new Double Pro that we have. It's carrying a lot of test weight as we move farther north here, so I know that's a pretty important thing when guys start growing corn a lot further north here. So a really good dry down on that. It's been doing really good in some plots up in the northern end of my valley up towards that Grand Forks area. Go a little bit later, I got our 3325. That's a 83-day Double Pro that's been in our lineup for quite a few years, and it's been about as consistent as could be. I think that we've tried to pull some stuff into the lineup to beat it out, and it hasn't failed us so far. So that's been one that I will continue to push, up in that maturity zone. 3746, 87-day power core. It's been a really good one in all the plots that we've seen it in. Some full field stuff over just into the Minnesota side. It really excites me bringing a guy into that plot, because if you're just looking at this plant, it's big and tall, and it really hides its yield a lot. So walking through the fields, I mean, it doesn't look like it's got much to it, but you bust open one of those cobs and the kernel depth on that is it's really insane. I mean, the kernels on that, I've never seen another variety produce them like that. So it hides its yield pretty good. So it's always really exciting to get the combine across that after looking at it all year. So those have been my top products up in the area here. So yeah.
I will
Well,
echo
that's
what Aaron said on the 3746. I will echo that as well. Very impressed with that variety this year. It's a first year full fields for us, and impressed a lot of guys in plots and in the full field. So that'll push south for me when we get into some later planting date situations as well. So can't say enough about that 87-day power core.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be able to add power core into the mix. So you've got some Double Pro and power core, some really good diversity, for all of our areas, but especially in the north too, where it's really needed. And so yeah, excited about that. Some of these new power cores coming in and then placing them along with the Double Pros is a great combination. So turning to the beans, I know it wasn't a lot of high yield bean averages up north, but Michael, what was some of the beans that you liked this year? We had some new beans and some existing ones.
Yeah, so Extend Flex side of things, got a pocket west of Fargo where really heavy in the Extend Flex beans. 0694, been around for a few years, very versatile, high yield environment, low yield environment. I'm really not too worried when that bean goes out the door. For what acre it's going on, I have confidence that it's gonna do its job and perform for us. Going a little later in the Extend Flex camp, 1165s were brand new to us this year. We do have that classed as ironclad, and kind of the same thing. I just feel very comfortable with that being going out, not knowing exactly which acre it's going on, but it's not gonna it's not going to get us kicked off the farm. That's for sure. I feel very confident with those two, especially in a package in the Extend Flex camp. As we switch over to the Enlist side, we had a new 0911 this year that really surprised and amazed me. I hope I'm not stealing Aaron's fun thunder because he might be talking about it as well. But that's a new 09 Peking. It's got the highest ID score that we can offer in the book. I think that's going to be a really big player up and down the valley in some pretty tough yield environments. Going a little later, the 1219 that's been around since I don't know. I was in high school, maybe. It's just keeps on performing. I think it won a few plots again this year up against some really big hitters. So 1219s definitely aren't going anyway. And then old reliable 1558s, as you know as well. I think you push that one pretty far south, and we push it pretty far north, I would say. Getting up into the Dakotas with the 1558s, and just a huge yield potential with that being. So those are the three Enlist beans that are kind of in my wheelhouse, and that'll be big sellers for me going into next year.
Yeah, I still love 1558s, and now we've got the earlier version of it, the 1358s, which did so well. So yeah, I love those beans. They've proven genetics is what you'd say about all those that you listed. They're very, very strong. So Aaron, what did you see on soybeans?
Well, John, you make it really hard on me to try to pick a favorite up here. With this, your new J class soybeans. I mean, from a 009 all the way up to an 09, like Michael had mentioned. There's just a pile of great varieties that you can find for any piece of ground that you want them in. A couple of my favorites, and they just happen to line up right at an 04 and an 05. Both Enlist beans, 0412. You're able to push that on a lot of your tough dirt, and it's still going to be able to produce really well for you. Our 0524, high yielding. We saw it run on the southern end of the valley. I mean, we saw it run with 10s, 12s, 15s, and still yield up there with those. So, but those 04s and 05s, they'd be a great package. You know, you could probably put those across your entire farm on different pieces of ground, and they'd produce very well for you. And again, I'll echo Michael here. That 0911, very, very impressive bean. If you fit right in that maturity zone, I would definitely be taking a look at that one. So lots of exciting beans. It's tough to pick a couple favorites, but those would be the ones that I'd be picking.
Yeah, great choices. Yeah, I agree with both you guys. So now,
Aaron,
no, great.
Sorry, John. Sorry to
No, go ahead,
Aaron,
Michael.
there's an O2 Extend Flex bean, right? That you kind of mess around with. I think I have one dealer that gets into that camp a little bit, and I've heard good things about that. What do you know about that one?
That 0284. So, our old 0254, that was a great bean for us for years. And this 0284 coming forward, I mean, you kind of got to keep it off of a little bit more stressy ground. But if you got some ground that you can put this 02 on, it's gonna run. It packs a bunch of yield with it. So that would be a great option to look at too if you're right in the Red River Valley there. So
awesome. Yeah, great choices. Some great new genetics. Always looking to keep the proven ones and then bring in some new ones to push them. So really happy with how the lineup's coming together. So now let's move to the really important stuff. Let's talk a little football. We've got the Vikings. They've got the border battle coming this weekend, and you guys are Vikings fans like I am. And this is recorded before the game. A lot of people will see it after the game, so they'll be able to know if your prediction is right. But do you guys have a good feeling about the game this weekend?
Go ahead, Aaron.
Nope. I think we'll be able to pull something together. You know, it seems like we're always able to play a little better when the Packers, you know, when we're playing against the Packers. So hopefully we can get some things clicking and we can get Justin Jefferson alive again, and hopefully we'll pull one out.
That'd be awesome. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm as optimistic as you. I really would like to think we can. And the Packers have been struggling a little bit. I just, JJ last week, he struggled. He really struggled. I mean, we were in it right to the end, but I think a lot of that was a little luck in our defense kind of keeping us in the game. He did that last drive at the end of the game. That was impressive. But man, I think it was half a dozen or so passes that he just, I don't know. They weren't even close. They were kind of tough. So that's something that I kind of really hang my head on. But you know, they, like Aaron did say, it seems like we do kind of kick it up a notch when we play the Packers. So hopefully we can come out with a win. The season's not totally over. I mean, we're still right there. We are at the bottom of the division, but it's not like there's anyone running away with it
tough
right now.
division,
So.
really tough.
Yeah,
division
the toughest division in football,
Yeah.
and I think we could still
Right.
sneak into a wild card, but this week would really help things out to get a win, because otherwise it's a tough road to hoe to get to 10 wins.
Yep.
For sure. But
it's looking like that's what you need to get into the playoffs.
Right.
At least in the NFC this year, that's kind of what it's looking like.
And we're only at 4 right now, so we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
But
Right. Yep.
Well, I'm hoping, since it's on the road, we've struggled at home for whatever reason. I'm hoping on the road that we'll pull it off, and JJ McCarthy will come up clutch again. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me on Beyond the Bushel today. It's a lot of fun talking what we've seen this year, some products, and a little football. And so I really appreciate you guys, and have a great rest of the day.